Hi, in this series of videos I'm going to be talking about how to make a robot using a Raspberry Pi. The uninitiated, a Raspberry Pi is a single board computer that can run Linux. In addition to running Linux, it has some USB ports, an Ethernet port, an audio capability. You can even connect a camera to it, and you have some GPIOs. The task here is to create a general purpose robotic platform that can be used for a lot of experiments, a lot of tasks, depending on what required. So let's see what we can build. Okay, so I'll be starting with the quick and dirty frame. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of wooden board and I've cut it in the form of an octagon. So the objective was actually to cut it into a circular system because that makes it really easy to turn around. But unfortunately, I don't have the tools to actually cut it in a perfect circle. So to maintain a good shape, I have cut it into a octagon. I've already cut the places for the wheels. You can do it according to the wheels that you have. I'm using these plastic bought-out ones that I got from the local market. They're not very good, but they're quite good. I'm taking 100 RPM motors, which I also got from the local market, and I've taken some aluminum sheet and I've converted those I've cut pieces of the aluminum sheet and I have already made C-clamps out of them. So you can use the Coke cans or soft drink cans or beer cans or whatever you have lying around, and you can make these. So in my build, I've already taken one of the motors, I've already clamped them. So the essential is to take, and these are self-threading screws. I would normally use some kind of lubricant because I've already threaded these. I've already tested this system out as in if it fits or not. So just go like this. For the wheels. These wheels are 13 inches across, so that kind of works out for me. This is unstable, so I need ball casters or some kind of wheel kit. So what I'm going to do is I've already cut up some soft drink topped off. So these are going to be I'm just using Scotch tape, that's what it's called, or sellotape, or whatever you have. So that kind of tape system. The height is just according to the height of these motors. I usually cut them a bit longer and then I shave them off as per my requirements. So these I've already cut up, and there we go. And that's pretty stable. So the objective is to run this robot using a Raspberry Pi, and all the code will be running in Python. So I can make a circuit for an L29 3D or an L29 8D like this one, but the problem is then I'll have to buffer the IOs and all that stuff. It's going to take a lot of time. Instead, I'm using the ready-made solution. This is the Grow Pi Plus from Seed Studios. What this allows you to do is have the capabilities of the ATmega 328. There's an ATmega 328. It's got a buffer, which, because the IOs on the Raspberry Pi B Plus are 3.3 volts sensitive, so this basically buffers it to 5 volts. So you get the capability to sense analog values, input output digital values, have an I2C bus on 5 volts instead of 3.3 volts, And in addition to that, you have a serial port from the Raspberry Pi on 5 volts buffer. Right. So what I just need to do is, this is a simple Pi hat, and I just add it, align the pins, and I'm good to go. If I need to add, suppose, a motor driver, so all I need to do is just plug it in and I'm done. I just need to wire up the motors, and of course I've got a connector for the power. So this has a 5 volt regulator on board. If I supply 9 volts, it's going to automatically regulate it to 5 volts, and it can power my Raspberry Pi as well. In addition to this board, I can use something like an RGB LCD. So this has a backlit which is RGB. I have stuff like sound sensors. I can use it to calibrate. I can have buttons and all that stuff. Really connects very easily, and I'll be demonstrating that. And in order to connect it to Wi-Fi, to my network, I'm using the RPiRobot, which is available from element14.com. So this gives my robot the capability to connect to the network on a wireless basis. The final head I've already 3D printed. This may not be what it's gonna have, but I've 3D printed a head using. I have a servo motor which I can use to make the camera as well as an ultrasound ranger. This is again also a Grove Pi module, which I just take a connector and just connect it to one of the analog outputs, because the outputs on this is analog. The Seed Studios library has already the Python demo code for all this stuff, so it's pretty easy to use, and that should cut down my development time to some extent. So in the next video, I'll be going through the Python scripts that actually drive the robot, and let's see if we can get some stuff done with this little platform.